Good morning, students and the viewers. Now we are in assignment 3, session 1, 9th standard geography. The Earth as a planet. The Earth as a planet. This is the topic for our discussion. We know there are 8 planets that revolve around the sun, because we are in the sophisticated and the scientific world. But previously, in the ancient times, people believed the earth was a flat one. So they found it difficult and they were very much afraid to travel here and there because of the baseless, the oceans or the water bodies. People simply took an excavation, the navigation. So they found out Earth was not flat. It is something like round in shape. It is the third largest or third planet in the solar system, and the 5th largest. Its orbit lies in between Mars and Venus. Mercury is the closest planet. So the temperature will be terribly hot, unimaginable, unthinkable. This planet has been termed as the unique planet. Why? It supports life, not only human beings, aquatic life, or the animals, or any living organisms. It provides life. Because of the atmosphere, we need air to breathe in. For the respiratory system to work, we need the atmosphere. It blocks or it plays a role like a bed sheet in order to block the ultraviolet rays from the sun. It is like a sheet layer. Then it has a lithosphere in order to make the plants to grow. It gives a solid surface. Then the hydrosphere, water. We know throughout the world we have roughly about 71% of the water body. All in blue colors are water bodies. So it has an interlink. That's why the sea level is the same level all over the world. So with reference to the sea level, we measure any place, whether it is the highest or the deepest, right? So all those things. So the philosophers, like when they study about the shape, they thought it was a flat one. But later on, the study philosophers like Aristotle, Ptolemy, and the astronauts like Ptolemy, Eratosthenes, right? And this Eratosthenes plus Pythagoras, Columbus, Christopher Columbus, Ferdinand, Magellan, all those navigators and the scientists and the astrologists and the philosophers made a study, and they said there are 2 theories. Geocentric, which means all the planets revolve around the earth. So that's called geo. Geo in the sense of earth. Later on, people came to know earth is not the center, but the sun being the father of the solar system, all the planets revolve around the sun. So that is called heliocentric. Helio in the sense sun. What are the evidences? How could they prove that earth is not flat, it is something else? They say it is not flat but spherical. Spherical in the sense somewhat like an oval shape. How do they know, or how did they know? They have taken, the Eratosthenes has taken 2 differences, the sunrise and the sunset. There are 2 places where he has taken the study in Africa. In Africa, he has taken the study from Aswan, from Aswan near the Red Sea and Alexandria in Egypt. Alexandria in Egypt and Aswan in the same Egypt African continent, but two different angles of the sun rays. He has taken two different angles of the sun rays and found out the sun rays difference will prove the sunset and the sunrise are not the same all over the world. Why it is not all over the world, not the same? Because it has been calculated in Mumbai, in India, the sun rises 5 hours earlier than in London, in England. So the 5 hours difference. Now actually it is a 5.5 hours difference when we calculate the standard meridian or Greenwich meridian, right, along with that. Okay, then the difference in the diameter. The diameter in the sense, you might see Earth, we can see Earth, right? It's the Earth. This is the equator and this is the polar, right? This is the North Pole and this is the South Pole. This is the equator. This is 0 degree, that is present. This is 180 degree and this is 90 degree and this is also 90 degree. So, if you see, this area seems to be bulging. The equator area seems to be bulging. So, the diameter of the equator is much longer than the diameter of the poles because of the bulging nature. So, this difference will give us the thing that it is not the round but the spherical. That's why we call it sometimes we call it oblate. Oblate or the spheroid. Oblate or the spheroid because of the diameter difference. Then, what about the size of the Earth? Size of the Earth, I told you, Earth is the 5th largest planet of the solar system or in the solar system. But this is Jupiter is 11 times larger than that of the Earth. Then it is the 5th largest, I told you. In calculations of the Eratosthenes, what is that? He has taken, I told you, this is sign in Aswan. So he has taken the rays of the angle or the angles of the sun rays. So he has taken the study and now most of the scientists, the modern scientists accept that this is more of the scientific proof that Earth is spherical in shape. So this is about in this session. We will continue with the next session, the rest of the things. Thank you. Till then, enjoy. Welcome back, dear students and the viewers, to the assignment 3, session 2 of class 9, geography, the continuation of the Earth as a planet. The previous session I told you how this Earth becoming the unique planet and how has it become and why do we say that it's a unique planet. In this session we will be dealing with how this Earth being called as a living planet. It avails a lot of conducive atmosphere to live in for all living organisms. That's why it is a living planet. What are the factors or what are the reasons or what are the things that will make this Earth as a unique planet plus a living planet? The first one is the right distance from the Sun. We know the planets simply revolve around the Sun. The right distance, the orbit's distance from the Sun should be very right, appropriate. So it runs roughly about 150 million kilometers, right? 150 million kilometers it has the distance from the from the Sun. So it has neither the high temperature nor the low temperature, such as Mercury and Venus experience. But also neither low temperature nor the high temperature, which means not too cold, nor less cold, like Jupiter and Saturn's experience. So it experiences or it gives a moderate temperature for any living being or any living organism to prosper. Then the presence of water. We know for certain that the 71% of the landmass or Earth's surface is being covered by water, and the rest only 29% of Earth's surface is covered by the landmass. Since because of this 71% of the water body covering the surface of the Earth, it is also called to be the blue planet or the watery planet. In broad sense, we call it the hydrosphere. This hydrosphere is the main cause for making the temperature moderate, because throughout the world all these oceans, all the water bodies simply have the interconnection. Because of that only we have the same level of sea level. With reference to that sea level only, we will be measuring a point of a place whether it is the highest or the lowest. So this hydrosphere is very, very essential for life. Not only for the human being, but for the animals and the plants to grow too. Then the presence of atmosphere. Atmosphere is the protective layer, right? There are three main gases that we should know. The first one is the oxygen that makes us breathe, inhale and exhale. For any living organisms, even to make a fire, we need oxygen, right? Otherwise the spark will not come at all. So it's a scientifically proven truth. So we need oxygen to live first. First the existence, not the living. Living is the entirely different, some psychological terms or the philosophical term it is. But just in order to exist oneself, we need the air to be inhaled. That is the oxygen we need for the inhaling. Then the nitrogen. Nitrogen simply provides the nutrients for any plants or animals or the human being to grow. Otherwise, for human beings, the bone-prone diseases will come because you lack nutrients. Then the carbon dioxide. It is very essential for the planets to produce photosynthesis. They take the chlorophyll from the leaves. The sunshine is the source of energy, then the soil, then the water. These are the four major agents that simply are helpful for the production of the photosynthesis or starch we call it. So, the chlorophyll from the leaves of the planet, the soil and the sunshine and the water. So these are the things that they need, but from the atmosphere they need carbon dioxide. Without carbon dioxide, they cannot produce photosynthesis, and so the whole system simply gets collapsed. So photosynthesis is very essential. Then the O3, ozone layer, is the protective layer. There are infrared rays and the ultraviolet rays. The ultraviolet rays are very harmful to Earth, especially for the skin. Skin diseases will come. Skin cancer it might cause. So this ozone layer simply protects us from the direct sunshine. So this is the protective layer. Then the presence of lithosphere. It is a solid crust. For any plant to grow, they need soil. This is a rock material. It's a decomposition of the rock material or composition of the rock materials. In order to walk, we need the solid surface to walk. The plants to grow, the animals to move on, the human beings to proceed with their own life, they need a solid crust. So the lithosphere. So all these spheres, hydrosphere, atmosphere and the lithosphere are together called the biosphere. Which means all these three spheres merge in a narrow zone that is said to be called the biosphere. So biosphere is the comprehensive term for all these spheres: hydrosphere, atmosphere and the lithosphere. What are this food chain and ecosystem? When you say about the food chain, one thing is being dependent upon the other. So it is very much interlinked, interconnected, intertwined, inseparable. Without one, the other one cannot be existed. For an example, we have the primary producers. Primary producers in the sense the plants are said to be the primary producers because they produce the photosynthesis and that is helpful for the whole living organisms. So the plants are said to be called the primary producers. Then what about the animals of the human beings? We are the consumers. We are the consumers. So whatever the plant gives, that we eat and exist our own life. Then we have this consumers. I told you the consumers of two types: herbivorous and carnivorous. What is the herbivorous? The thing or the animals that feed on plants. The organisms that feed on plants, that is what is called herbivorous. The carnivorous, the thing or the organism that is fed on the animals. So we are the human beings are both herbivorous as well as carnivorous. Mostly we are the carnivorous ones because we eat both, right? Plants as well as animals. So these are the ones that we wanted to tell you and I want to tell you in this session. And what about this food chain? I told you it is very much interconnected. There is something called ecosystem. What is the ecosystem? It is a system of functioning comprising of the physical environment. Physical environment in the sense all those spheres. And the organisms. The organism in the sense whether it is a plant or animals or the human beings. Organisms in which food chain and the energy flows from one agent to the other agent. From the plants to the animals to the human beings. Human beings to the plants to the animals. Something like that. It is very much interlinked. This is what we call the food chain. So when I will be giving you the PDF, sending you the PDF, the assignment for you is simply write the glossary. Don't write the glossary as such. Simply write terms to learn. Terms to learn. That is the title. You are supposed to write the glossary, whatever has been given, and the question answers you are supposed to write. Especially the distinguished and the give reasons are very compulsory in nature. You are supposed to work on that. When you come to school back, I want to check your notebook and work on these exercises and fare it out in your fair notebook. In your fair copy, I want to check it. So that's all today. Have a nice day. Thank you.